So it's 2026, the year where everyone that I know is saying they're going to become successful, they're going to be millionaires, all these different great things. And I love the amount of enthusiasm there is at the beginning of a year. All these resolutions, it's fantastic, and it is honestly contagious, right? But the problem is a lot of these people are not going to reach their goals because they're setting out extremely crazy goals and they don't have a plan to get to them. So in this video, I really want to speak on how we can actually achieve these goals, not just put it out there into the abyss and hope that it's going to come to fruition. With that being said, I want to talk about some of the lows and some of the highs that I've already had in 2026, which has honestly been a extreme roller coaster for me. We're talking about Kingda Ka. I don't know if you remember that, Six Flags. I don't know if we have any people from the Northeast, but that's legitimately what this year has already been for me. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get the lows out of the way. I just hit 10K MRR last year. I just posted a video probably 3 weeks ago showing that, and we're already back underneath 10K MRR. It's a little bit frustrating, I'm not going to lie, but I'm just taking a step back. I'm surrendering everything to the Lord and letting it be, right? I cannot help the fact that I'm back underneath there because it's a compound effect of how I ended my last year. And we're going to get to that. But yeah, that's the low. We're back underneath 10K MRR, and it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you guys exactly how we're fixing that and how we're going to end up getting way more than just 10K MRR. We're going to go to the moon. The goal for this year is $30,000 to $50,000 monthly recurring revenue. I just want to throw that out there as a accountability thing to myself. So anyone watching, if I don't hit 30K MRR at a bare minimum, you can absolutely roast me. You can block my YouTube. You can report me, whatever the case may be. But that is the goal that we're going to be hitting this year. And I know that without a doubt, it is going to happen. You might be wondering, bro, you just told me that you're back under 10K MRR. How are you going to hit that goal? Well, let me tell you exactly how. But first, let me tell you the reason why I'm making the changes that I'm making. At the end of Q4 in December, I was definitely riding the high of being just over 10K MRR. And honestly, it was me, and then it was also God. and let me break that down a little bit. First off, it was me because I was just riding the wave. It was a holiday season. Everybody was having a holly jolly time. Cool. I had a fantastic time with family, but why I think it was God is because I ended up getting sick at the end of the year, and it forced me to actually be still and see how my year was ending, right? And honestly, man, it was not ending great. I was constantly waking up late. I wasn't consistent in the gym, and I just wasn't taking the business as serious as I should have been, right? God blessed me with being over 10K MRR, and I was kind of just, as bad as it sounds, spitting in his face because I wasn't taking it serious. But that's where God will put you on your face, and then he will lift you back up once you see where you have made the mistakes. And trust me, I have definitely seen where I made the mistakes and where I was constantly failing, just to myself, not even to the business, because we did have that high, but realistically, the compounding effect of me failing myself first then transitioned into the business, which is how it will always happen. If you cannot respect yourself enough to do what you say you're going to do and trust what you say you're going to do, then how can you expect God to respect or trust you with the things he has in store? That is a big thing that I've been reminiscing on and really trying to dial in on myself, because I know God has such big plans for me. But if I don't respect the plans that I've made for myself in the small things, getting up on time, going to the gym on time, those things, then he is not going to entrust me just yet with those things that he has in store for me, right? And it's the same exact thing for you as well. And that's why I'm making these videos, because as I'm going through these wins and losses and all of the challenges, I want you to take what I'm doing and take the mistakes that I'm making and not make those same mistakes. Some of the things, legitimately, you're going to have to get your hand burnt. Most people are not going to learn by just somebody else saying it. But what I will say is, if you do, that is the actual definition of wisdom. Be wise and learn from others' mistakes. You can be great and learn from your own, but be wise and learn from others. With that being said, I want to go into the key pillars on why I know I'm going to be hitting the goals that I have. It first starts with yourself. So personally, for me, I have really dialed in on all my habits and routines for these past 2 weeks. Now, a lot of people are going to start with the morning routine and this, and this. No, it actually starts the night before. So for me, what I've been doing personally, and this can be different for everyone, but if you have similar goals that I have, which is staying in shape, making money, being a faithful servant to the Lord, then you're probably going to want to mimic some of the routines and habits that I'm implementing in my day-to-day. So my nighttime routine looks like this. I would say an hour and 30 minutes before I go to sleep, I obviously take a shower, then I get everything ready for the morning. That looks like me setting aside all my clothes for the gym and me setting aside all my nutrition, an electrolyte packet, a water bottle, creatine, and all my vitamins that I take is set, ready to go, right? And then I also plan out the entire day on this whiteboard that's literally right beside me. Because for me personally, my days can get extremely jumbled extremely quickly. And if I don't have time blocks and things that need to get done the night prior, then I am absolutely cooked and I'm not going to be as productive as I could be. And that can look different for you. Realistically, I know some people are going to be able to have maybe 2 to 3 weeks planned out already. For me, it's just time blocking the day before and making sure that everything is ready for the morning. Because when you wake up in the morning, you want to limit the amount of decisions you make. You only have a certain amount of high quality decision making, and you don't want to use all of your high quality decision making, whether you want a blue or a red shirt. You want to use those on things that are going to propel the business forward. So it looks like any creative ideas, this is really where you should be using most of your high quality decision making. Then once everything is laid out for the following morning, I will put my phone away, no more social media, and I will make sure that it's set to sleep. So any notifications just get completely denied and I do not see my phone light up whatsoever. I'll go ahead and sit at this table and read a self-help book or a business book of some sort. I'll probably read that for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And then once I'm done with that, take a couple of notes if I feel the need to, highlight wherever I need to, and hop in bed with my Bible. Then it's straight into a quiet time where I just am speaking to the Lord. And then I'll go ahead and read a couple of pages of the Bible. And that looks like another 15 minutes. So I usually set aside 30 minutes total to read. Sometimes I go over if I'm really feeling what I'm reading, but for the most part, I try to keep it concise to 30 minutes. And that allows me to get to bed, which is the most important thing, get to bed on time. Because it's cool if you have these goals of waking up at 4 in the morning or whatever the case may be. But if you're going to sleep at 12 at night, then you're probably not going to be very productive when you wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. 4 hours of sleep is definitely not enough. I recommend at least 7 hours of sleep to be extremely productive or as productive as you can be. I know some people fluctuate. Some people need even more, like 8 hours, or some people can function on less, like 6. I know it depends based on genetics, but realistically, the sweet spot is always going to be 7 hours of sleep because the following morning, I want to wake up at 5:30. So with that being said, we can go ahead and get into the morning routine. Waking up at 5:30, try to get out of bed as quick as possible. Because I promise you, if you stay in bed for over 30 seconds, your brain is going to be like, hey, maybe we should just chill in here and just hang out, right? 90% of the battle is just having your feet hit the ground and get to where you need to get to. For me, that's the bathroom, brush my teeth, take a piss, and then I'm ready to start the day. So right after I get out of the bathroom, I have everything laid out from the night prior to, put on my clothes, which takes literally 30 seconds. And then I have my vitamins and water and put my electrolyte packet, creatine, which takes another 30 seconds to a minute. And we are ready for the day within 2 minutes. Then right after that, I am having my quiet time and I'm reading the Bible for another at least 30 minutes. Then I'm off to the gym. And I promise you, there is not a better way to start your morning than this. This will quite literally set you up for the success that you've been wanting time and time again. Now, the key part is staying disciplined to it, right? Your motivation is going to go. After you do this for, the first 4 or 5 days, your motivation dissipates. You're waking up at 5:30 and you're like, oh my gosh, this sucks, right? That is exactly where your discipline comes in. I'm reading the book Atomic Habits right now, and honestly, it is such a banger. I've read it halfway before, and this time I'm gonna read it all the way through. That's another promise that I'm making to myself, and I'm gonna respect myself enough to actually finish the book. But within it, it speaks about how you have to change your identity. You can't just tell yourself, oh, I'm a night owl, I can't wake up early. Like, let's be for real. If you had a gun pointed to your head and they were like, you can no longer be a night owl, you have to wake up early or we will literally kill you. Realistically, you're gonna go to bed on time, right? The problem that most people have is that they give themselves these identities of just being weak, not being able to actually succeed, and giving themselves the excuses to be weak. If you tell yourself and legitimately believe it, that you are the person that wakes up early in the morning, you're the person that hits the gym consistently, it's going to take a little bit of time, but everyone around you is going to start to recognize that. And then you will legitimately become that person. It won't take that long either. If you continuously do that for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, you will become that new identity that you are longing to be. And that is exactly how you will reach your goals. And the last thing before I go, I want to give you guys one more gem. If you're actually going to start these habits, just know this. Once you start these habits, it's okay if you miss a day. But once you miss more than one day, once you're on that second day, you're on the start of making a new habit. And guess what? It is not a good one. So fine, you miss one day, something happens, you slip up, perfectly okay. Do not let it happen 2 times in a row, because once you let it happen 2, 3, 4 times in a row, you're done. Your habit is already broken. And like I said, you're on the start of a new habit that is not going to propel you to where you want to be in 2026. So I'm extremely fired up, and I hope you guys can see that within this video. 2026 is going to be such an incredible year as long as you actually make it that incredible year. The Lord will always meet you halfway, but you need to put the work in and actually respect yourself. So with that being said, I love you guys, and let's make 2026 actually count. Peace.